Welcome to the Sozzled pod. It has been a minute since I've even said that, but we are finally back. We back. The original squad is here. We got some additions. We got Albert. We got Chris, man behind the camera, but he's sitting here today. We got Mr. Sozzled. We got Kodak Pat. We got Benji. We got Mike Vibes, and we got new addition, man. We've been getting a lot of questions. We've been getting a lot of interrogations about where we've been. It's been crazy, but we're back, and we're not just going to jump in. We're going to discuss, what has been going on. Like, before we begin to that's like what really happened to the Sozzled pod. A lot of people have been asking. We got the guys here. We're gonna answer all the questions that have been coming. So guys, what really happened? What really happened to the Sozzled pod?
What are they saying that we did? What happened to us?
I mean, bro, realistically, we haven't when was the last time we dropped the episode? We have recorded, but when was the last time we dropped prior to what's the last drop?
Who's the corporate?
Like 5 months.
Yeah.
We all part of it.
It's been a while since we had an episode. I mean, I feel like life happened. Everybody's schedules. Benji lives in Albany. Everybody's been busy with a lot of different things. So, conflict with schedule has been hard for us to really meet and really settle on a topic for us to really bring out content for us to really talk about and discuss. So, I mean, there's more to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody has something to say on their end.
Yeah, corporate. It is it's corporate.
Corporate.
It's not just one person. But yeah, what do we think? What happened? Let's talk about it. What would we say happened?
I feel like there's a lot of church programs going on.
So
we don't really be having time to sit down to do these stuff. But you're back though, so
we are back. We're back and we are better, right? I would say work schedules as well. New jobs, new facilitating new things, and just figuring out life overall. That's one of the things that have kind of gotten in the way. Question would be, what are some, even questions, the question that somebody has even asked, what would you say are some of the challenges of running a podcast or running a YouTube channel? What would you say are some of the real challenges that go into that, of maintaining a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think practically for us, just being the fact that, we're not all in the same space all the time. We have people that live, outside of, the city. So just trying to get all the guys to record, come together, even just fellowship, that's a little bit of a difficulty. So yeah, just back to the whole scheduling thing. It's just been very, very, very hard to really get all the guys together to record. So that's a main struggle with maintaining a podcast and just having that consistency that we did speak about earlier. It's been difficult, but we move. We're back.
We also don't have a set spot. That's a big thing. There's a lot of people who have.
We got kicked out of our old spot.
We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that.
We're talking about nothing. One thing I'll say too, piggyback off Albert, I feel like the fellowship outside of the church space also has been a problem that I'm starting to realize. Because there's so many church activities, it's really rare that we really spend time together outside of church. So that also kind of affects the brotherhood and just the ability for us to just be around each other and really vibe outside of church. Yeah. That's also very important that we have to be aware of.
We do be testing though, but
we trust me. We
talk
test.
a lot. But it's different when everybody's together.
Yeah, that's different.
And even also to add on to that, another aspect, because our podcast is Christ focused and Christ based, we don't just come up here and just set up cameras and just start talking. There's a lot that goes on behind closed doors that we do to prepare to even come sit before the camera. And I think the whole in the mix of what Benji said with church programs, just we haven't found time to do those things that we need to do before we even come out here. So
can we get into that so people can know how we go about preparing ourselves for our podcast, so that way people know. We're just trying to be as transparent as possible, because a lot of questions have been coming in, so we want to be as transparent. So let's talk about some of the stuff that we do as a team to prepare for our episodes.
Yeah, the first thing is prayer. I think one thing we did very early on when we first started was just set up time to meet as a group to pray. Prayer works. I think the only reason why we are here right now is because we've been sustained through prayer. So as the minute that we take that out of the equation, then everything else falls apart. But yeah.
And then after prayer, we just usually have like a topic or a theme, and then we all do our like research on that, and like we kind of do a study on that, read the word or try to get answers for whatever we're gonna talk about. So that's another thing that we usually also do. So
yeah, we do like it's not a Bible study, but like we would have like FaceTime calls where we would like discuss the topics, and like everybody would bring their ideas, and then we'd have different opinions and different sides. So in doing that, we would informally form the podcast. So those are things that we did behind the scenes along with the prayer that really brought out some of the episodes we have. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to really find that time due to everything that we said. So that's what's been, I feel like that's what's been heard in the podcast, on the consistency that people want to see.
Honestly though, let's give ourselves some grace, because we are all young adults, working, doing other things in our lives. So sometimes it happens, but we keeping the main thing. So
yeah. Some of us are even our local area Fasada elders. So
Yo, that's crazy. I feel like, we all kind of connected through church, and I would say like even our friendship being strong off camera definitely affects our like flow in front of the camera, right? And I feel like, me transparently, I feel like over time our busyness low-key even affected how we was like moving even as a team.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like busy. Some people, married. Some people jobs. Some people getting new jobs. Some people graduating. It's like all these different things at once. That definitely I would say that affected our fellowship overall, and that separation low-key affected even the podcast. So I want us to even talk about how did that even look for us, practically speaking. How did that even look for us, practically speaking? For me, I would say definitely I saw like there was times where the chat was really silent. You know what I'm saying? We was not able to meet as much, pray as much as a team. And once that happened, I could see like even the focus on the pod became like a back burner. Like, we're gonna get to that later. And I'll be seeing people walking around with our merch on, and I'm like,
damn, we
not even doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really crazy. But I wanted to talk about even like our fellowship as brothers, and I feel like one thing we could talk about even before we move on is, how does our fellowship as brothers affect our walks in the faith, and even the things that we're doing, like even the podcast and making it bigger. Like we started off around this time last year, right? Where the idea came, we started off, and how has our fellowship as brothers helped us to move to podcast, to merch, and all the stuff that God has in store for us in the future.
Man, I think this is full circle, because we literally talked about this on the first episode. We talked about godly community and accountability. I think like accountability is very key. I think when we lack that communication to keep each other accountable, we just kind of end up all doing our own thing. And like the Bible says, a 3-stranded cord is better than the ladder, which is a two-stranded cord, and whatever is less than that. And so I think, like the Bible says, like when we're all together, we're our strongest, because we're bringing our ideas together. We are pushing the other person to bring their best. We're all inputting into this thing that we're stewarding, as opposed to when we're separated and we're all doing our own thing. It becomes kind of like chaos or different ideas. Nobody's on the same page, and things are just all over the place.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say too is that it's kind of dangerous, because at the same time, some of us are still around each other. But although we're around each other, we kind of have been like unaware of what people are going through behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that. So it's not always about like proximity, because we could be in the same space but not really have that time to really. And that's what I'm saying. Like, our fellowship outside of church is important. Because we see each other at church all the time, but sometimes somebody's going through something behind closed doors, but we don't even know. Come to find out later, because we just lack that closeness in our fellowship. So that's something that definitely we need to work on. But besides the podcast, like just for like the sanity of each other, and just hold each other accountable. That's important.
So how would you say accountability has helped you overall in your journey?
Honestly, in my journey, I have taken pride in the statement "iron sharpens iron." I would say that thing about having a godly community around me is something that I struggle with, and seeing what it's like to not have one, and then seeing what it's like to have one. It's like your life just transforms like moment by moment, and I could say that my life is a testament of that for sure. Being around all of you guys, so I appreciate that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So now let's get into how, because we're in a new space. Right now we are physically in.
How did we get here?
How did we get here? That's a testimony on its own. Right? What happened to our old space?
Our old space.
So what is
It's a home.
Yeah, so
Our old space.
Yeah.
Our old space was
New
a space,
Mm.
but it became a home. It became a home. And
Yes.
how did it become a home? How did it become a home?
Yeah, I mean, I got married in May.
Alright, bet. Let's clap for that one. Go, for those of you who don't know, go to our page. And we live stream the entire thing. And we also have a vlog on that. You can go check. The link is below. Go and check that out. It was a beautiful time in May. But yes, explain to us how has that process been, and how has that, that changed? I mean, we lost our place. We got a new landlord. We'll talk about that later. But how has that process been?
I mean, no, marriage is great. I mean, still fresh, teaching me a lot of things about life, all the things that, I mean, people give you a lot of advice about marriage. They say the general stuff that everybody hears, like communication, all the things, but when you finally into it, you see like, okay, these basic things are very important. There's a lot of things, the whole school, but I mean, what I'll say is that, definitely prayer is important. Accountability is important. Communication is important. And I mean, it's been building me as an individual, and it's a day-by-day process. So you guys will all get married one day. So you guys. I'm not a relationship counselor.
Wait. You sat on the episode?
I'm not a relationship coach. I'm just giving you, a little bit of just what I've been experiencing. But the new space is a new space. If you come there, you see it's a different space.
It is a new space, bro.
It's a new space.
Beautiful
so
space.
It's beautiful.
It even smells different.
What
It smells like a home. Like when you go there, man.
Wow.
Shout outs to Amma, bro. The place is nice. Let's clap for that one. See, I done my brother
And now the topic's on Benji.
Yeah, but like guys, what's you?
Where have you been?
Where have I been?
Bro, we were in the last episode.
So there's been a lot going on. Usually during after usually ending of August to November 15th, I'm in my busy period of work, so a lot of client deliverables and whatnot. So usually around that time, I'm working almost 20 hours, something like that. I work on the weekends.
A day?
Yeah.
A day.
Basically, we on our computer every time, and you don't know when they're gonna tell you, "Yo, do this for me" or "Do that for me." So I work crazy hours. I only get blockers. I usually block time for church. Usually I go to this evening prayer thing, so I have a blocker for that. Monday through Wednesday. Sunday I have a blocker. Saturday I have a blocker for rehearsal and stuff like that. So those are the only things but outside of that, I have to be on my computer or have my work phone with me every time. So that's why I've not really been around. But
slavery.
But yeah, I mean, anybody doing accounting or anything in the accounting field or even finance, things like that happen. So I mean, that's where life is right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that it?
Bro,
That's it.
I'll see you.
Nah, Nah, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. You know, I feel like all of us are kind of in a. Bro, you the freshest graduate. Let's clap for that one.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The switch from college to like working full time has been honestly tough. Even though like all my brothers, we all having different careers, but for me, I would say wake up about like at 4. I'm not gonna get home until probably 8, maybe 9 some days, depending on like traffic. But I would say working full time is fun. I've been making strides in my place of work. I do data in a school, so I've honestly been making some strides. Been able to sit down with like leaders, some of my leaders, to talk about certain trends in the school and how we can make things better. So honestly, I give glory to God for that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been.
That's good, man. I feel like for me too, like one thing I'll talk about, like I recently just changed my job as well. I was working in Jersey. I mean the same field. Yeah, I was working in Jersey and it was time to make a switch. So I came to Brooklyn. So I'm working in Brooklyn now, and it's been definitely a change in terms of just the culture. I mean, Jersey, Brooklyn, 2 different cultures, dealing with different kids, different staff, different building. The commute is a lot less, but I mean, a shift is a shift, right? So there's definitely been new things, even not only just with work, but even with like, family responsibilities or even church responsibilities, things have been piling up. So with that, I could say that for that has been a shift that has definitely affected, the ability to like, me and everything. But, one thing I want to say is that we back and we're back.
Key moment. Hold on, don't do that.
One thing too is also I got engaged. Next year is coming on live. I'm joining the Mike Vibes crew.
If you want to see the one, make sure to hit the subscribe button.
That is true.
You don't do it the same way.
The next Sozzled wedding 2025 is coming up.
So any 2026s?
Stay tuned for more. But yeah, man, it's a lot of changes going on. It's a whole experience. It's a whole experience, and things are changing. But with that, we want to get into some questions. We got a lot of questions that have been coming, but we're not going to tackle those today. Today we want to go through some icebreakers, just to get into a little bit of questions. So I want us to start off with the first one. Let me just go through some of these. All right, first one. If you could know when and how you were going to die, would you want to know it?
Nope.
Nah.
Really?
I don't think so.
Will anybody say yes to that?
I think I would say yes.
I feel like it would limit
Your view on life.
my view on life and just limit like what I want to aspire to do like in life.
You can explore.
Yeah, like I could explore. I could be able to do things like freely. I think that's something that's important for me to be able to just explore, do things with understanding of I can go an extra mile, but like little things like travel. Like if I found out that I'll die in a plane crash, bro,
No, it says
How
if you could know when and how you are going to die, would you want to know?
Okay,
So let me
so
say-
when? Okay, when?
Wait.
No, go ahead.
So on the opposite, right? Let's say you're gonna die at 70 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You plan. It may push just how it may limit you.
Yeah.
It pushes me. I feel like it pushes me to plan well.
to plan better.
Okay.
So it's up to the individual.
So I think
Me, I don't want to know.
I would want to know.
I think that when changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
Me,
If it was just how,
Yeah, it's how.
then I'll say that
No.
No,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
is anxiety?
But I want to know when. Cause I know you're gonna die next week.
When? When?
God forbid, though.
I think the only thing with that is just like, bro, like I don't want to live in this fear. Like,
I mean, you already do though.
you already do, but like
To a certain extent.
yeah, like I don't want to live in a fear that like to pass point like.
Car crash.
There's certain exactly. It's like car crash. I'm
No, you're gonna drive. You still gonna drive.
You don't need to drive to get to die by car crash though.
I won't ride with anybody.
Yeah, you can even be in the car.
Then I won't ride with anybody.
I walk. You ever seen a pedestrian hit?
Alright, bet. Listen up. So, what is your love language?
Wait.
How do we get there?
No, we going through.
How do we get there?
What is your love language?
I would say for me, probably, I'll say words of affirmation. I kind of can get lost in, if I'm providing the proper love or proper care to my significant other, or whatever the case may be. But Benji, what's up?
What's up? I didn't even say a word, bro.
You tell me. What's your love language? Quality time?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
Alright, one more point. Alright, let me finish.
Hold on. This is what I want to say. Honestly, love language is all. It's all.
No.
Can you explain
the
all?
Can you rank them though?
I mean, yeah, you can rank them.
That-
I
that-
think about time and place.
I would say
All the love languages down that you can list, everybody likes those things. It's just about when and where, time and place.
But wouldn't you say that there are some people who, for everybody, everybody wants all, but for some people, it's like they this is their main one.
Yeah, at a certain time.
Yeah, but some people have a main one. Like they have a main one.
For the entire life.
I feel like
Yeah.
it depends on the season, though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. At
You
every point,
are
at some point,
you
you're
are
like,
He's the married man. He's the married man. He's the married man. He's the married man. But why the guys never say physical touch though? Let's get
No, guys say that.
Really?
Guys say that. We got that question. Let's go. Alright, would you rather receive good news or bad news first?
Bad news.
Bad news.
Bad news.
Bad news.
Get the bad news first, and then you finish it off with the good news. You feel better right after.
Okay, got it.
Simple.
Would you rather die after your partner or before?
Next.
Yeah, before.
Why before?
Because, bro,
You want to go through pain?
But your absence gives her pain.
nah.
Or is it that you can't?
I can't be with the person that I say I love. I can't be without the person I say I love.
I bet. Would you rather save? Oh, okay, this is a good one. Would you rather save money or save time? Both. I mean, of course, both. But what would you rather save, money or time?
You can save all the money in the world and not be able to even use it because you don't have time.
That's true.
Oh shoot.
That's a good
But the
one.
thing is that time waits for no man. Time is out of our control. So how can you save time? That's out of your control.
Nah, you could be
No,
wasting
but
time
no,
doing the wrong
but
thing.
what-
He got the gem. He got the gem. You're right.
Counter.
Let me see. Say what you said one more time.
Because time is in the hands of God. We don't control time, right? So it's just like, I get the essence of saving time, but what do you mean by actually saving time? If you are not the controller.
Oh no, this is a what if
No,
question.
this is a what if hypothetical.
Oh, okay. Good game. Alright,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
thinking deep.
Come
The
down.
guy.
The guy is still attending.
Would you rather be rich or famous?
Rich.
Rich.
Bro, why would I care if I'm famous? Give me the money, man.
Anybody would say famous?
Famous.
Okay. If you could go back in time, what is one thing you would tell your teenage self?
Judgmental.
No.
What is something that you will actually tell your teenage self? Like, we all have generic things we'd say, but like, what is something you would actually tell your teenage self?
You go champ. Keep it up.
Bro, honestly, I would say don't take things personally. Like, I remember growing up, I used to get angry about everything. Like, if it's my parents, one little thing, bro, just take it personal. Go to my room, shut the door, just be angry. Oh yeah, I would say, don't take things personal. Like, we gonna grow up and be Gucci.
I mean, I would say your relationship with Christ is the most important thing, honestly. Because trust me, you could try to, get all these things in the world. You try to get all these experiences. You're going to get to a point, you're going to be like, dang, I did all this for what?
Yeah.
And that's when you try to search for God, and it might be too late because you probably could die before the time. So,
yeah.
If anything, I'll say that, honestly.
Question is like, would your younger self actually listen?
Nah, not always.
I don't think we'll be like,
But
How young we talking though?
Like teenage, anytime between 13 to like 18.
Oh yeah, no.
it's not gonna lie, maybe our parents was definitely doing this.
Yeah, I think what they all say is just like, just be yourself. Like, it's okay to just
To be different.
To be different. You
Yeah.
don't gotta be like everybody else.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're a teenager,
They trying to fit in.
you're always trying to fit in.
Middle school,
Everywhere.
high school, question.
high school.
Yeah, you're always trying to fit
Go through
in.
that identity
Peer
crisis.
pressure.
Yeah.
and then your parents comparing you to other people too.
That was a hit.
Bro, that's a whole.
But bro, realistically speaking, I think it's natural to do that. Like, we're all gonna come do that to our kids, maybe on accident.
Do you think that's healthy though?
Nah.
It's not healthy, but it's like,
It's not
I don't think they're intentionally trying to do it. It's like, yo, don't you see what he's doing?
Yeah.
How can you-
He's getting ready to I see that.
No. I'm saying, but like, it's like,
I see.
bro,
Yeah.
don't you see what he's doing? Do the same thing.
Facts,
I don't think it's like like they're trying to like
Yeah.
actually do that, but it's like, bro, just do what.
I think every teenager goes through that identity crisis. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Every teenager goes through that.
I wouldn't even just say a teenager, bro. Even certain people right now, like 20s or whatever, they're still like.
I kind of feel like it's needed in life to find your footing. Because I feel like if you have this preconceived notion or understanding about yourself, you're kind of limiting yourself from growing, into your full potential, I'd say. So I feel like that identity crisis in I'll say the teen, the teen sector, or just honestly any time in life, can propel you to, actual living out purpose, So
But technically, even speaking though, everybody's going through identity crisis until they find Christ, no matter how old you are.
That was gonna be my next
That's
question. That's what I was gonna ask after that. How do you really find it?
Yeah, bro.
Or get out of that crisis?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no cap. I saw something. Like when you're a teenager, right? I feel like, especially as guys, the highlight is like, yo, cars, money, clothes, girls. That's like, you can have those things. Like, you feel like that makes you kind of like a man. Or that makes you. But like when you get older, you see like different celebrities now talking about being abstinent. Or trying to like be celibate. Like I saw something on like was it Facebook or something? Somebody was going to like sex rehab.
Bro, I've seen a lot of celibacy things.
Like they're trying to figure it. Like they're trying to figure out how to abstain.
They have a thing called like semen retention.
Yeah, all these different like people are trying to find ways to like get back. But the answer is like if you just follow the principles of Christ, all those things will really protect you for
That's a
free.
fact.
Facts.
But you're paying somebody to teach you how to do something that relationship with Christ can teach you for free.
That's a fact.
So I definitely think that, as you said,
Just eat your
Yeah, just be in your word. Be in your word. I mean, we joke. Be in your word, and you'll be fine. What's your job? What's your dream job? If money didn't matter.
Money didn't matter.
Is there a job that like actually if money was
house husband.
House
Stay home dad.
Stay at home dad.
soccer dad. It's gonna be soccer dad with the minivan.
bro, honestly, just play ball at the rec, bro.
Play basketball.
Like a basketball coach.
You be a basketball coach or basketball player?
A
Be a
pro
coach.
rep player.
I'll be like a rec
The big three.
player, yeah, like big three, something like that.
I was actually thinking about that too, like a basketball coach.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you regret not doing when you were younger?
Saving money.
Investing money.
Yeah.
Saving.
Buying, not buying.
Learning how to invest,
anything related to money,
Saving money.
bro. I
Learn
was
how
just
to
so
invest.
Especially COVID era.
Just
Oh yeah, COVID ever
I would
was.
say starting my my extracurricular activity. Like if I did that earlier, oh my goodness, like that would just set me up so much better, like where I find myself right now, and that would be a set side gig that will support me in my my regular job. So I think that's something I think about sometimes. If I had time to do that.
Yeah, another thing I would even say is like just being knowledgeable about everything.
Yeah.
Every
Nah, that's too broad.
Nah,
That's too broad. You gotta break that down, bro.
Bro, like I feel like we all have certain things, goals in life, right? When it comes to finances, marriage. So just honestly just acquiring knowledge, as in reading a lot.
Oh, so you should
I don't think, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of us, I don't know, but yeah, I never should read about anything like that, So
knowledge is
because that's when you really get like knowledge about.
Yeah, most of us hated reading when we were kids.
Yeah, bro.
I would say honestly, people may not understand this, but I wish I took drums seriously earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I started taking drums seriously around maybe like 2018, 19. That's when I started taking. But if I had started taking it seriously like earlier, because when I was younger, I used to play drums, but I never like took it like serious the way like I kind of take it serious now.
Yeah.
So had I taken it seriously early, younger on, maybe I'd have been somewhere else now.
That's true.
Yeah, I think parents, like, even one thing I noticed about, like, especially like in the richer people that are rich, they position their kids to learn extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Like they put them in those things. Like if you go to, like, most of us that have worked at like summer camps, the private ones,
Yeah.
you see like rich kids, like they're doing
right.
swimming, they're doing golf,
That's
they're
a
doing
fact.
fencing, they're doing coding.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like in the poor, how do I say
Middle
it?
class.
Honestly, I would understand.
That's
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
Honestly,
saying.
it's not poor. It's more about our parents. Let me not say our parents. Let me not say
Most of
yeah,
our
most of our parents is like. Let me say it's ignorance
Yeah.
because they didn't position themselves in the place, because some of these things, they don't cost that much money. It's just about positioning. Like sometimes after school programs and stuff like that. It's like they don't think about, or it's not a priority to put your child or their child in an environment where they can build certain skills, because it's like, oh, just focus on your books. But there's other skills that some of these kids have that if it's cultivated in the right environments, it could take off somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just because, they weren't, again, with ignorance, they didn't get to see that, here in America here, a lot of parents or rich parents, they've seen that people went into these other avenues and they've made it, right? But with most of our parents, they did not see that happen. They only saw people with books, like,
be a doctor,
to make it. So in that sense, they try to enforce it on us, so that we.
They're doing what they can.
I don't blame that. It's not. It's I don't. It's not.
I think they really saw like extracurricular as like a waste of time.
He said it basically.
Yeah. Like you about to play basketball?
Reading
your books.
But I feel like even growing up, our parents probably like forced it on us like the wrong way. But I get at the end, when you grow up, I feel like you will understand it in the sense that they kind of all just want job security. So it's just like
100%.
So are you saying that? Okay. What do you have?
The reason why I say that is because most of our parents, came from Ghana, like the hard way, you know. So it's just like they don't want their sons or daughters to, be doing the same jobs that they have, which is probably like home care. And this is not to like bash anyone, but it's just the reality of the situation where it's just like you yourself, born and bred in America, you're gonna do home care, you're gonna do what? Like these little, not even 9-to-5 jobs. So it's just like those jobs where it can actually, I would say our parents want a retirement plan out of us.
Yeah.
I guess you can say, as they're not asking for money, but there's gonna be a point in time where they can't even take care of you anymore. So it's just you're just gonna leave them, So
A lot of it too is they just want to say that, my son is a lawyer.
there's some parents. There's some parents.
There's some parents that they take pride in like that glory. They like that. Oh, my son.
Sometimes they just want to plan.
Wait, lawyers make money like that?
Yeah, this guy not said anything else.
Sometimes, right? Sometimes too. I feel like, especially like nowadays with social media,
Oh my god.
people are more into creatives.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, and I feel like what parents, or less like our parents who come from like immigrant parents, they just want you to give them a plan. But most times, in our generation, most people don't have a plan.
I also think even with that like example of creative, like who would have known that content creation would have blew up this much in 2024? Like I feel like the reason why that happens because of like COVID. Like COVID really like set a platform for like So like bro, like imagine telling your mom or dad at 2013 like yo I want to be a content creator. Like it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You know.
I'm gonna post videos and make money.
Post videos and make money.
But yeah, it's certainly like security though. Honestly, it comes down to security, and I feel like most people that went to college, they're more secure than a lot of people that didn't go there.
But do you
Think
need
so?
I
college?
have to say that.
Do you need college?
Huh?
In
I
this
don't know if you
in
need
this time we
college,
find
but
ourselves.
I'm gonna say that at some point, certain things is a lot of things are trends right now. Content creation, it might get to a point it wouldn't be like that because everybody would be doing it.
Okay.
So at that point, would you be making the same money that you might be making right now?
It's up to you to make yourself different, you know.
But yeah, but a lot
It's
of
actually
people can't
more
even
work.
find that though.
100%.
A lot of people don't find that. Look at Twitch right now. Twitch is blowing up. I don't think in a couple of years Twitch might be the same because everybody will be doing it. You know, but with being a lawyer, being a doctor, it's always people sick. Always people. People are,
What about nurses?
people are always
Nah,
getting
even
in
doctors.
trouble.
I heard like now like they're creating like I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
say
good.
Yeah, that's it. He will know. He will know.
Wait, nurses, I don't know what they do.
Yeah, alright.
It's hard, it's hard.
What you about to say?
Nah, yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it really just comes down to like being able to look at something in the system. I think our parents value systems,
Yeah, that's
and a lot of those jobs, like being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a nurse, all these things are like systematic where they can look at it and say, okay, I know this person's child was able to do it successfully. I don't know anybody who got rich off of Twitch. Just because you know certain people yourself, I don't have enough evidence to put.
That's where the plan comes in. I feel like anybody who could actually give their parent a clear plan about how they're gonna do it.
But you think they're going to trust in your plan, bro?
No, it depends, bro.
It depends on how company.
It depends on how you're able to do it.
Bro, when I switched my like,
What were you doing?
I was really doing pre-dentistry.
Oh shoot.
I was going to dental school, and they got to a point where I was like, bro, there's no way I'm gonna be. I'm not doing this, bro. So I switched to business management and like sports emphasis, bro. My dad fried me. He fried me, but it's like I gave him a plan, and even when I gave him the plan, he still wasn't jacking. He didn't want to. But it's until you give evidence. Like it's all about the evidence. If you're able to produce evidence and what you're saying, like you're backing it with actual proof, then like from there it's squared away. So you have to produce. Make sure you produce evidence. With the plan that you're giving to your parents, for sure.
Because every parent is they're gonna gatekeep it. They're not gonna let you just go. Like they have to make sure say you. Because our parent, bro, if some of our parents, you hear their story about how they even got into this country.
It's crazy.
Well, let's move to the next question. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Reading people's mind.
Read people's mind?
Reading people's mind.
I don't want that.
I would say because it's just like I kind of have I always like kind of overthink sometimes, as in like, is this person, I guess on the same vibe as me or something like that, or something like that on that level. But it's just like it can be a crutch. I get that's why sometimes like you wouldn't want that. That's why you're saying you wouldn't want that as your power. But like for me, I feel like with that I can be the next step ahead. I can use it to my advantage. Even though like in certain people's minds, it may be, something that will hurt you or whatever the case may be. But, I feel like even with that, if what I'm hearing or if I see something that's like, that will hurt me, I feel like having that, I know that power I can find a way out of it. If you get what I mean. So the
Bro, you so
disadvantage.
deep, bro. Tyler?
Nah, me personally, I don't think I can handle that.
That's good, bro.
I don't think I can handle that.
Imagine-
Reading people's mind, cause bro,
People have some wicked thoughts.
think about the stuff that we like. If I think about the stuff that go through my mind, the amount of stuff that go through my mind in a day, it's not everything that goes through my mind that I want you to see. Bro. I was like, if I could see what's going on in everybody's mind,
Imagine seeing that thoughts of a serial killer, bro.
yeah. See, imagine seeing the.
Yeah.
It's okay. I would want to.
I think for me,
Teleport, bro. I was just about to say teleport, bro.
Okay, so
Philip.
why would you say teleport? And why?
me?
Like getting here today, I just boom, I'm here.
Yeah.
Same time.
Super speed though.
Sometime, yeah.
Super speed.
Super speed, like running.
Sell your car now, bro.
You don't even need a car.
That's what I'm saying. Sell it.
You don't need a car. You don't need to pay car insurance.
You don't need a plane.
Wait, why do you need a teleport when you can just have super speed though? That's what I'm saying.
No, because you can't run on water.
No.
But if you got speed, you can.
You're gonna be tired.
You are gonna be tired. If you teleport, it's just one thing.
Teleport,
Yeah,
bro.
Okay, invisibility is good too. Like, I'd rather like be.
Why? Okay, tell us
Why
why
you
you
really
want
be invisible?
Why?
Trying to be sneaky.
Wait, invisibility is kind of crazy, bro.
Crafty guy, bro.
Invisibility is actually crazy.
Oh God, what is this?
Give me one good reason why.
I'm not following that one, bro.
Nah, bro. You have to give me one good reason why you want to be invisible, bro. One good reason.
Yo.
All right, next question.
Alright, we got 3 more questions. These gonna get a little bit, you know. What chance encounter changed your life forever? What is an encounter that you've experienced? Could be somebody you met, a place you went, something that happened to you, an experience that you've had that has changed your life forever. That was chance. That was like something that you wasn't expecting. Like it just happened, and like boom.
Okay, I got one. I remember in 2021, I joined this worship ministry in Jersey, and I met this guy who like was like their MD, and I later on found out that he worked at Microsoft. And then from at that moment when I met him, and then we were talking, like, you know, I was explaining to him that I'm in college, you know, I'm looking to, you know, branch into tech, and he sent me this application to like apply like for Microsoft as like an intern. So I applied like not thinking of anything. And then later on, like he told me that he saw my application and like he already submitted it and HR, blah blah blah. So, and I think from that moment on, like just getting that experience kind of propelled me like to where I am now. So I think that was like a moment where like one, I wasn't expecting to meet this guy. I wasn't even expecting him to connect me to anybody, you know, in tech at all. And I also wasn't expecting for him to tell me that he worked at Microsoft, you know, because so yeah, I think that was something that like really like changed my life in terms of like my career. So yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah. I think mine is kind of similar to that. It's actually dealing with my job that I have now. Like I literally connected with, as I was looking to apply, I went on LinkedIn and just like did the normal thing, like just connect with everybody who's there, connect with any higher up, you know, as much as possible, HR, whatever. So I connected with this one lady, and you know, I gave my little elevator pitch, you know, like a paragraph saying why I should da 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 da.
Shark Tank.
And then not knowing, she actually left the company, but she still had the
Certain
thing.
relationships.
Yeah, she still had the title in her thing. So she's like, yeah, I actually left the company like 2 months ago, but I know the person who is hiring. I hired the person who is hiring.
Oh wow.
I hired the person who is hiring. So she's like, I'm gonna connect you. I'm gonna send your number to her. Give me your number. Da 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 da. Let's give her a number. A day later, the person called me. She's like, oh, you how do you know Maria? I was like, oh yeah, we connected one time. Yeah, we're super close. She's like, oh cool. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna have a conversation. Da 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 da. We ended up having a conversation, bro. A week later, I got the job.
Wow, that's nice.
Bro, it was divine. Very divine. So yeah, that was definitely something.
Go day.
Feel.
Yeah. Couple more. This is a moment.
For me, I'll say back in 2022. Back before I started coming to Brooklyn, I remember I came to Perugia, that Perugia event we have in Albany. I was not planning on coming to Perugia. I didn't even know what Perugia was because I wasn't.
What is Perugia for those who don't know what Perugia is?
What is Perugia? Albany. Now, Perugia is like a conference that's hosted in Albany, New York, in the Church of Pentecost in Albany, New York, yearly. It's a youth in Penta, or youth for the young individuals, young adults, those in college, those who have graduated, and then high school seniors, for us to just like come together and just be edified and just come together as people of Christ. But yeah, back in 2022, I was never planning on going. I think Benji had sent me the flyer. You had told me about it, so I was like, what's this? So I looked through the program, and I seen it on Saturday morning. They were having like you know how they said they were doing a panel on like job, like careers and stuff. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm gonna pull up on that Saturday morning. I'm gonna pull up, see what they're talking about, and then go back home. So I remember I drove up there on Saturday morning for the career panel. I ended up staying for I didn't know it was a 2-part service, but I ended up staying for the evening service as well. And then that day was the day, like, you know, I saw Brooklyn over there. And so, I went back home. So I think that was by chance, by me even showing up there and then see you guys there. Then also, that was in October. November, I was slided in schedule to go to Dubai. 2022 was a World Cup, so I was planning to go to Dubai to watch the World Cup in Dubai. Or it was in Qatar, but I was going to Dubai to go watch it in Qatar. And things got canceled, and I ended up in the church. In the day that my flight was scheduled to leave, I ended up going to your guys' Bible studies in person, and boom, here I am now.
Wow.
Active member.
Active member. Wow, that's crazy.
Alright, I'll say for me, one thing I'll say, the day I took the test to become a cop, I changed everything, because, you know, if you look at where my life is now and stuff, it's like, when I think about prior to me, before I became a cop and stuff, like, I didn't really know, like, exactly where God was taking me in terms of, like, career and just, like, life in general. I didn't really know where I was going. But I can see that in hindsight now, it's like, there's a lot of things that have changed. Even the way people look at me, maturity-wise, you know, there's just so many just different experiences and different encounters and different spaces that I am in now, that had I not become a cop, and it, like, there's so many different environments and just different spaces that, you know, I feel like God's opened doors and opportunities for me to, you know, just experience certain things that, you know, it's completely changed my life.
For example?
Huh?
What is an experience that you've had as a cop?
No, so I think with the opportunity of being a cop, it's just the opportunity just to, like, just be out there and just speak with people, encounter people, be there for people, and it's always random. It's always random. You can't, some of these things you cannot predict, and I feel like in that, God has made me a light. You know,
Yes.
God has made me a light, and you know, I've experienced a lot of favor. I can say that I experienced there's a lot of opportunities I've received that it's like, I know that I don't deserve it, but I know God's favor has been upon my life. You know, to the point where it's like, you know, sometimes now like I'm not even on patrol all the time, you know, but it's just by God's grace. I know God has a overarching plan for me that I can't see the whole thing now, but I know that, you know, He's taking me somewhere. Where He's taking me exactly, I don't know. But He's taking me somewhere. So definitely that me taking the test and being in this agency has put my life in a different trajectory that I couldn't have guessed. And that's what I'm saying, like, I go back in time and talk to my younger self and tell my younger self what, that I'm gonna be here now. I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would. There's no way I could even listen to that. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is God has been faithful, man. God has been faithful.
Amen.
You know, God
That's
has
good.
Making me sweat, bro.
Hey, I have a question though.
So,
I want to know about y'all days today. Like, you came out of a fast and everything. Like, how was y'all days today?
I think Drew got mad questions.
no.
Let's put the questions down.
We are 8 today.
No.
Wow.
So for those of us who don't know, our church that we belong to, just did a 10-day fast, and this is actually the fast that we did last year, and out of that fast, you know, God gave us the idea to start this Sozzled pod, you know, and we had that conversation. After the fast, that Sunday, it was me, Paul, and Benji, and we're talking about it, and through that, God brought this team together, and here we are, almost a year later. So, God has been faithful to us all in different ways, but one question I want to ask is, the last question is, what is one thing that God has done in this season of your life that you would say has stood out for you personally as an individual? That's something that God shocked you with in this season of your life, or something that God's been teaching you in this season of your life?
That's deep.
That's the last question before we wrap this whole thing up.
Prayer works, and there's never an ever-ending time that you need to stop praying about something. Because whenever you pray for something, there's actually more to pray for when you get that thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say about my job.
Oh my days.
When I pray for my job, then one thing that I didn't realize was sustainability in the job, right? And I went through some stuff this year, which made me realize that, wow, okay. And literally, like, the Holy Spirit would like tell me about that, and I'm like, dang, okay, that's something that I didn't pray for. And I realized that, okay, so even when I was praying to get the job, I should have been praying for sustainability in the job. So I was like, you know what? So that's a major lesson. So it made me start praying about that, you know, and God has been so faithful. Everything, my job is cool, like, you know, everything is going well. Like, sometimes certain people that will tell me something about how I'm doing my job, it even shocks me, because those same people were the people that were
Trying to get you up.
yeah, you know, so, you know, I just thank God for that.
I would even say for me to even piggyback off with like this job stuff, like starting it, honestly, even before starting it, I remember it was that water fast that we had in July, that like I was petitioning God, like, I'm not getting any offers, but it's just like, you brought me this far for me just to not get a job. So it's just like petitioning God, and just praying for God for the job that I'm currently in. But when I got there, it's just like, where I promise you, I'll best my witness. I say like a month in, I did not want to be there at all. Like my commute, the people there, like the people that I worked with, my boss, like, cause my boss is kind of like, she's a great person, but it's just like she's very tough to please. Like, no matter what you do, no recognition or anything, you know, like that. But like, just fast forwarding to like now, like God has been like just showing me that like he truly loves me, and I've been like just embracing the love of God, because like I've been down memory lane, especially like in this fast, and like just reminiscing of like all the nonsense that I've done, you know, and just where I've come from, you know, from birth to like now. Like, God has literally shown in every single moment or even season of my life that he actually loves me, you know. And there's times where I'll say like, yo, I'm not worthy. Like I'll open up to my mom like, yo, Ma, I don't feel worthy, you know. I don't feel like God loves me. But it's just like, it's through those ugly situations that he turns out for good, you know. So it's just like, even to like my whole job stuff, like I started off very rocky. I was not at peace. I just wanted to leave, you know. But like now, God has been like opening up doors for me. Like, you know, many people like kind of gravitate towards me now. My relationship with my boss is way better than it was before. And it's like, I don't do anything to try to please people. I'm not a I want to please you person. But it's just like, she gave me like a shout out the other day saying that like my start off, like I've been way better since the beginning of the year of school. And it's just like, she sees that potential and that grit in me. And it's just like, honestly, thank God for it. Because when I started, I was not necessarily butting heads, but it's just like we never saw eye to eye, you know. and I didn't want to be there, but it's like I kind of find myself in like a way better place, and I know, I honestly know it's just the grace of God that has been leading me. So,
Yes, sir.
so yeah.
This is a heavy question for me, and I would just say that because in regards to just thinking about God's mercy and grace, like over everybody's life, it never runs out. So even when you find yourself literally turning your back from God completely, like His nature never changes. You know, it says in His word that He's the first and the last, Alpha and the Omega. So just one point that He showed me was the moment that you avail yourself completely and you really like make it up in your mind that yes, God, it's you that I want to follow, nothing else. Like after that, He just takes off. Like I would say there's so many situations in my life where I always ask God, like, is this even like a right time for me to be doing this right now because of all the other things that I did like come into this point. And it's like at the end of the day, it's not me that's like producing the results. It's the fact that I decided to trust in God and He's doing the work and using me as a vessel. So I would say just understanding that Jesus Christ literally came not only for our present sins but past, future, all that. And once you like really hone in on that and really accept it, like wow, Jesus Christ really did that for me, like your life will just be a lot more peaceful. You'll be able to talk a lot more about your experiences that have happened, and through that you'll be able to minister to other people. I find myself ministering to a lot of people now. People that ask me questions about things that I used to do, I'm able to now translate that, you know, with the word to draw them closer to Christ. So a moment when I was like, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna get back into, I guess, church culture or the ability to serve God, and now it's just all the things is just falling in place. So yeah.
The one verse that I love, the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 7 says that I'll look to my God, I'll wait on the God of my salvation, and definitely my Lord will hear me. And I feel like that verse is something that like it's been like kind of my theme low key this year in terms of like favor, you know, like just praying to God and asking God for favor in every aspect of life. And when you it really hits different when you pray for something and you see God just like He's saying, just putting things together without you really even having to do much, you know. Like for me, like this year getting married, you know, I feel like God has really shown me that whenever you pray and you put things into his hands and you ask for certain things, like favor only comes from God. Like divine favor only comes from God, because it's people have connections, you know, people have resources, but when the favor of God is upon your life, He really directs you and plants you in certain positions and places that, you know, no man can do that for you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's something that I've experienced this year, and it makes me very excited for next year, because I know that because I've seen what God has done in my life this year. As long as I remain in this path and I take my praise up to another level, you know, God will just continue to elevate me and elevate all of us, and just, you know, whatever it is that He has for us that we cannot see right now, that it will come to fruition in Jesus' name.
Amen, bro.
Yeah.
Anybody want to say one more thing? If not,
You have to say something, bro.
we gonna wrap.
You have to say something.
I mean, we gonna have to wrap this up. To be honest, we gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
We'll open the next episode.
We'll open the next episode. We got more questions. We got questions that people have been sending that we gotta answer. So
But we're back. The Sozzled Pad is
we're back. We're back. You know,
Like, share,
subscribe.
And share.